Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to start our series called Christmas Card Corner, and we are going to use this template that we made yesterday in Template Tuesday. So if you're new here and you're just finding me for the first time, make sure you go back and check out yesterday's video, and I will link it in the description below so you can easily find it. And in that video I walked through how to make this card template and a card template that we're going to use on Friday for Funfold Friday. So let's go ahead and get started. So our recipe or directions are here on the inside of our card. So first thing we need is a card base. So I've got this piece of crumb cake here that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just going to give this a good burnish. And then next we need an inside piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, so I have a piece of white for that. Now, next thing we need are 4 different pieces of pattern paper that are 2 5/8 by 1 1/8. So I'm using this Christmas paper that was actually from last year in the Reindeer Memories. And this paper actually came from the scrapbooking workshop that is still available. So this really pretty, kind of whimsical paper here is still available for Christmas. So here are some of the pieces here. Oops. And then we'll look at, let's see. They don't all have backs to them because the scrapbooking workshop has specialty paper, not really specialty paper, but different paper than what was in the paper pack that is only single-sided, so it's not double-sided like most of these are. So there's just some of that paper. So that's what I'm using. So I cut 4 pieces here. So there's that. And what else do we need? We need cardstock for our outside layer for our sentiment. So this is 2 7/8 by 3 3/4, and then a piece for the actual sentiment layer on the outside is another piece of white that's 2.5 by 3.5. So let's go ahead and get this card started here. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take our 4 pieces of pattern paper here, kind of arrange them how I would like them to be. So these are going to be our 4 pieces that go up the side of our card here. So I think I want them like this. So I'm just going to turn them over here, and we're going to put some glue on them. Now, I'm going to use some liquid glue. You could use tape runner if you wanted, and if I had any I would, but I am fresh out. And until my order arrives tomorrow, I don't have any. So we're just going to use liquid glue because, we can get by. So I'm going to turn the card base this way. And I'm going to lay down these 2 end pieces. And I'm not pushing them very hard. I want to make sure that I get my spacing the way I want it, so that I have, a pretty even all the way around. So front, top to bottom, and then our 2 pieces in the middle. So this will go this way, and then this one will come right in here. Now, the spacing is a little off, and of course I have glue everywhere. So let's move this one down just a tad bit. And I want to make sure they're straight, or as straight as I can get them here. And once I'm happy with where I think they're placed, then I will go through and, give them some pressure to really hold them down. Okay, so there's, oops, don't be doing that. We don't want, okay, our reindeer are flying away on us. We don't want that to happen. Okay, so there's that. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping. So we want to stamp on both our inside piece and our piece that goes on the front. So for this particular one, I'm going to use, and this is a retired set that was out when that reindeer memories paper came out, this reindeer fun. So I'm going to use our 2 deer and this stamp that says Christmas is better together. And then what do I want on for the inside? I think we're going to use let's see, what have we got here? There's our Christmas is better together. And then I'm going to use from this Greetings of the Season. This was also a stamp set from last year. I'm going to use this Happy Holidays. So we can go ahead and kind of, I forgot to pull that out ahead of time. So let's see if I can find what we want in here. So here's our Happy, and here, oh, here's our Happy, and here's our Holidays. Okay, so there we go. So we'll put those on a block here in a second. Let's start with our outside here, and we're going to start with our little deer. We're going to use these 2 deer right here, and then our Christmas is better together. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp in pecan pie for the deer and real red for our sentiment. So let's put our deer on first. Now they do take up a lot of space on this piece. So let me get it all inked up here and get up here where you can see. So I'm just going to put this down just pretty much at the very bottom of this little piece of paper. And yes, the tails of our deers do actually disappear off the sides, but that's okay. They still look very cute. Okay, so we're done with the pecan pie. I'm going to put it away. Now, next thing we're going to need is our Christmas is better together. So we'll open our red ink here. And I'll ink this up. And make sure you stick around to the end because I've got several other examples that I'm going to share with you. So I'm just going to put this toward the top here, just right above our 2 little precious deer. There we go, just like that. And then let me get their Happy Holidays on a block here. So let's see, Happy and Holiday. It kind of will just nestle right in there, and I like to just put this particular sentiment on a block together and just stamp it all at once. So we'll go ahead and ink this up, and we'll put that right down like that. There we go, perfect. Okay, we're going to put the ink pad away, and then I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to take my light pecan pie Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to color our little deer in here kind of quickly. So I'm just going to, you know, color hopefully with inside the lines. And this doesn't take too awfully long to do. And I will try to leave the spots where the deer would have white markings. So that would be, you know, on its tail, we'll leave that white. Let me get both legs here. And then we will leave part of the underbelly down here, we'll leave that white. So we'll just stop right here at this little natural line that was in the stamp. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this colored in here. Now, someplace else I want to leave, like all the way like up here, we'll leave white as well. So we just want to make this look pretty realistic. There we go. That looks good. Now we'll do around its ears here, leaving some of that white in the middle of these. And get its little face here. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good for Mama. Let's do little baby here real quick. This won't take near as long. And again, I'm going to try to leave the white places. So underbelly. And let's see up here. And we'll leave part of the ears. There we go. Okay, so there's what we're going to put on our outside. And it looks like I got just a little outside the lines down there at the baby deer's leg. So there is a way to fix it. So there is a color lifter that comes that you can buy. And so we can take this and kind of go in here and try to get back inside these lines that I kind of went outside. So we'll just do this to remove that color from where I got outside the lines. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's move on now to putting our card together. So I'll put that there. We got to put this onto our mat, so we'll go ahead and do that. So a little bit of glue, and we'll get this centered up. Just like that. And then we can go ahead and we'll let that dry for a second. We'll go ahead and get this on the inside. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and put this on. Now you could do this one of two ways. You could put this flat, or you could pop it up. Completely up to you. I am thinking that we're just going to do it flat. So I will, oops. Oh yeah, that's fine. We're going to go flat. We can put glue all over it. It's fine. For just a split second, I lost track of what I was doing. I thought I was doing something else. I'm like, but nope, that works. Okay, so there's that. Now, last thing we need is some bling. So I have some, let's see, I have some bling that I thought I had out here, but maybe not. Let's see, let me find the bling I want. Okay. It's here. I'm just looking at it. Oh, there it is. I knew it was out and hiding. Okay, so these were something from last Christmas as well. They were like little, remind me of peppermint candy. So let's go ahead and get some of these. And you can use whatever Christmas paper you have, or whatever, you know, whatever embellishments you have. Make it your own and use what you have. That's the important part. Because the stuff doesn't do anybody any good just sitting around. You might as well use it. You bought it. Use it. And it's a great time to get started on your Christmas cards, because if you start now, you'll have plenty of time to get them made and get them in the mail. Alright, hang on. Some of my putty wants to stick to this one. Let's see. Get that off there. Okay, let's... This one does not want to cooperate. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so there is our pretty Christmas card. So Christmas is better together, and happy holidays. So using our card template made this really easy to put together. So let me show you some other ones that I made. So I used this same paper that I used for this one, and this was part of the die set that came with this stamp set. And I had this left over from last year. It was just sitting around, so I thought I might as well use it. But just so cute. So this is the same setup as this one. And then I've got this one. So I used, this was some old paper from last year's too. I think it was called Winter Meadows or something like that. So instead of, you know, I stamped on this one, not necessarily any decoration, but made this one just a little more, you know, fancy. So even did some stamping on the inside on this one. And then the last one I used the paper from last year, the Seasons of Green and Gold. I just loved this paper and just thought this made the prettiest card. So there are our examples of easy Christmas cards that you can start making right away. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And come back Friday, because we're going to use our other template that we made yesterday for our Fun Fold Friday card. So that's all I have for today. So have a crafty day. Bye.